Hello. I've realised that of my aircraft collection on Flight Sim 2020, that there's one I haven't looked at before, as far as I can remember, and this is the weight shift microlight that I've got. Now, I actually flew. This is an air creation something or other. It is or was a French company, and about 30 years ago, I did actually have a half an hour flight in one of these, and I just want to go through some of the bits and pieces that are on a weight shift aircraft as opposed to conventional aircraft. So a conventional aircraft has a stick or yoke and rudder pedals. So you have elevators, ailerons, and rudder. You know, whether you're flying a glider, Boeing 747 space shuttle, whatever, they've all got the same sort of controls. But the ones on these weight shift aircraft are different. So a hang glider, or this, which is basically a hang glider with a pod and an engine, whatever. What I did notice that's quite funny, I put this on pause so it doesn't actually fly, but you can still move the controls, so I can show you how these controls move. Let me just zoom us in a bit. Right, oh, that's better. Jeepers, that is a bit close, isn't it? So, if the little guy here, so normally in an aircraft, if I want to put the nose up, pitch the nose up, you pull back on the control, it moves the tail of the aircraft down, increases the angle of attack on the wing, and therefore the tail down gives you the nose up attitude, and then the increased angle of attack will give you a lift. Well, in one of these aircraft, you push forward on the bar, and the wing moves. Push down to increase speed, and descend. Actually, would increase speed. Just increase speed. You control your pitch by the lateral stick or longitudinal stick, or in this case the frame. But you control the height by the engine. Now, most people, I would have thought it was the other way around, but it isn't. You control your height just with the engine. Right. And then if you want to move left, you move the bar to the right, you shift your weight to the left, and the aircraft does this. So if I unpause, oh, by the way, this is Car Valley, which is actually near Leyland, and I live somewhere over here. I think it's actually just over that way. So we might end up over there in this video, we might not. So I shall unpause. And where we go, I think I turned the sound right down. Right, so that's just sorted itself out. So here we go. Now, these, as far as I'm aware, are fairly easy to control. But all I have heard is the constant movement of the wing. Ladies, you can fly these as well. It doesn't take super strength. But if you're going to fly one for time and you've got the air currents moving all the time, you've got to constantly move that bar. So you end up with some quite good muscle. I want to do a turn to the right. Obviously, you're going to look out, make sure there's nothing over there. You push the bar to the left, use the centre of gravity to the right, drop to the right wing. Now, these were originally called weight shift for this reason. You're using the centre of gravity of the whole aircraft to control it. But they now call them flex wings. I'm not too sure what that is. I need to speak to someone about that. What's quite nice with these is they are relatively cheap to buy. Storage in a hangar won't cost that much. You pay for the area that you take up. Now, if you were to store it in this configuration, you know, that is quite a lot of area that you're taking up. And if you want to be able to get yours out without moving people's out of the way, you know, you're going to pay a lot of storage for that. But you can actually dismantle this, pull it back, and it all lines up about there. So you end up taking up that much room. So you can literally store these things next to each other, about three or 4 feet apart. So they are very good for that. You can't do aerobatics in these. As a microlight, you can't do aerobatics. I think you can do a 60-degree angle of bank, which is about the most, which is probably somewhere about there, and that gives you about 2G. You can go to 30 degrees nose up, so if you've got a bit of speed, you can have a bit of a play, or 30 degrees nose down, something like about that. If you try and do anything more than that, you will go outside the bounds of the aircraft limitations, which, if it's found out, you could lose your license for, or lose your life. You know, these things are highly stressed. You know, they'll take +6 and -3G, but that's ultimate loading. You pull 5G in one of these, you'll know, and you'll probably bend something. But they fly quite slowly. This, I think, has got a Rotax 912 engine in it. which is, I think it's like a 2 litre, I'm not entirely sure. Good for about 100 miles an hour. The smaller ones, especially like the sub 70s, you're only doing sort of 30 miles an hour. There's no flaps or air brakes, because with all the wires on, there's a lot of drag, and you'll notice with this one that it's coming down quite rapidly. I was actually going to go and try and land in one of these brown fields. So if that was an engine failure, I would probably aim through the trees for this next field, or the one after that. Okay, I'd clip the tree, I'd be dead. It's as simple as that. I know where that church is. That's just behind Tesco's. Right, if I do that and climb through this gap, if I am where I think I am, well, perhaps not. Anyway, there we go. Sunny Leyland in Lancashire. This is on a sunny day. I've had to turn the weather off. Oh, and look, I go just over there. There's another hot air balloon. I'm going to go and chase that. Well, there you go. Little introduction into weight shift microlights. Microlights are classified because they fly at certain speeds, have maximum weights and what have you. But they're all cheaper to learn to fly. So if you fancy to learn to fly, weight shift, microlights in the UK, ultralights in the US, and whatever they're called in your country. Anyway, I'm balloon chasing. You take care and enjoy your day. Bye.